We are moving on now to the truly horrific Hamas attacks, with some very shocking and distressing new developments. The Israel Defense Forces have told ITV News that Hamas have massacred babies, children, women and the elderly in an Israeli village. It is obviously the media's duty to tell us these stories, to show us these images. But watching some of these very experienced, hardened journalists who have been on the front line of many atrocities over the years, and you can actually see them visibly shaken by the scenes that they are witnessing. And that gives a real sense of what is happening on the front line here, Janet.
I think the big question is how we feel watching these images, and we've seen an awful lot of them now over 2 days because, you know, unlike when I was a newspaper editor, we've got 24-hour news, we've got social media, we've got people filming stuff on their phones and then putting it out there. And I saw on Jeremy Bowen, the BBC's European correspondent, almost in tears on the news last night because he was reporting about the slaughter in this village, and the pictures that you were seeing on the screen were of bodies in plastic bags. And then, I'm sorry if this is distressing for viewers, they actually told us that the people in the bags had been beheaded and that children and babies had been beheaded. Now, you know, looking back on my own career, I just think, well, when we were reporting about the IRA, the one image about all the bombings and everything else, the one image that everybody holds in their head amongst many was of the horses that were killed at, you know, in Hyde Park. But now we have these images bombarding us, and the impact on our children is going to be substantial. And it's not just, you know, Israeli children that are suffering. It's the Palestinian children as well, because there are images of these children in buildings that are being bombed as we speak, you know, and they're losing their parents
There were choices taken then, Janet, at that point to decide what we as viewers would see. That was an editorial decision.
Yeah, when I was an editor, we did not show images this explicit. And we did not show if someone was dead, there was a dead body. I learnt my lesson because the relatives could identify them.
Do we need to see images like this, Gloria, in order to face up to the atrocities?
A second, actually. You see, you were talking about headlines, and I read one headline that I got kept in my handbag, and the headline was, "How can anyone make excuses for a terrorist group, Hamas, who murder women and children?" And that really seared through me. Since Saturday, I'll be honest with you, I have been really upset because, like Janet, we've been in all kinds of news programmes over the years, and I have to watch the news every day, just it's in me here. And some of the images, I mean, particularly of the children, and of course everybody else that's involved, I mean, but with the children, you know, I could weep when you were talking there about the body in the bag and, you know, execution.
Oh, and the footage of people being snatched off scooters.
I know.
And people, you know, it's footage of it actually happening.
It is, but little children saying, "Mummy, Mummy," sort of, you know, help me, help me. I mean, that as a parent, that kills me. And so last night, because I knew he was coming on the programme today, I had originally cut out some late-night news, but I watched late night. I'm sort of kind of drawn to it like a magnet for news, really, as opposed to one incident. And of course, I didn't sleep half the night because those images are etched in my brain.
And I think that's the thing, once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And, like, I know, like, I've got young kids and we do have the news on sometimes in the background, and I've been turning it off because it's not even just late at night, it's in the morning they're showing this stuff. And I just think at that age, they don't need to know the ins and outs of it yet. But unfortunately, I have that choice to make. But I've got Jewish friends at the minute who are having to have those horrible conversations with their kids when they're just going to school to explain there's going to be security and police outside the school, they're doing terrorist drills inside the school, and they're having to explain why these things are happening. And I just think at that age, you shouldn't be needing to have those conversations. And it's just such a shame that You know, it's all out there. It's on social media, whether we turn the news off or not. The stuff that goes up online is just disgusting.
Yeah, work can't be filtered, of course. But it's taken the innocence away, and I think, as you say, and Janet, you said it earlier, it's saying for me as well, just anything to do. Actually, the elderly women at the beginning of this news coverage, I find that really difficult to watch them being taken away, and then
Terrible.
And the children. It's just, you watch it feeling numb, because what can you do? And like you then say, it's almost like you feel like, well, I'm going to protect my 2 little ones in the house right now from having to see it.
Do you switch your
the reality
television off?
A lot of the time I do, and because I have a 5-year-old who now sees things, takes it in, and asks questions about absolutely everything, and it's like, Mummy, what is that? How are you supposed to explain to a child?
And also, it's the not knowing. I've watched people, you know, since Saturday saying, well, my son was just taken from his bed and I don't know where he is, and people don't know whether they're still alive or gone, you know, and that is really very painful.
Well,
to take on board.
unfortunately, we're at the start of something for which there's no possible short solution, easy answer. And, you know, I think the media outlets are going to have to make a tough decision on what to show us.
Yeah.